Hello, so this is Doug from Doug's Dog Training and Day School, and this video is to go over the training collars that you read about in my blog article, and I'm going to show you two collars that I use, how to properly set it up, and then how to properly place it on your dog. I'll just back up so you get to see me, and how to place it on your dog's neck so that it works properly. Again, I talked about if it's set up right, when there's slack to the leash or to the dog, it automatically loosens. If you put it on the wrong way, what happens is it doesn't have the ability to automatically loosen from the weight of the leash and the buckle. So this is what we were talking about in the article on a slip collar, a training collar, slip collar. It tightens up and it loosens. So this is homemade, and I talked about you can do some research and make your own. I use paracord. So this is kind of for a smaller dog. So I have a larger one and a smaller one. I'll take the larger one so that my leash buckle fits on it easily. And I place it through, again, two. So I'll place it through, try to get my big fingers out. I'll place it through the other one. And then I'll just pull it through. So now you have a collar like this. And think about your dog. Your dog's muzzle is facing the camera. And this is how it would be set up. And I'm going to go over it clearly to explain why. Because you want it pretty much to look like a P. If you think about it, the end of the P and the P wrapped around the dog's head if you're looking at it. So you're looking at your dog's face, you put it around so that it looks like a P when you pull on it a little bit. So up, around, and P. So that's the slip collar. And this is called a fur saver. I use these for my Rottweiler. So again, you have a collar that's made, it's lightweight. It's not heavy. It may look heavy, but it's very lightweight. You can get them in different colors as well as different metals, I believe. I always use a Herm Sprenger, H-E-R-M-S-P-R-E-N-G-R, Herm Sprenger. So you have the two loops. On this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the rest of the, I can't think about it, but the rest of the collar and let it go through the loop. And these would be called the rings. My old man brain, sorry about that. Old man brain got in the way. So again, you would let it slip through, and then what happens is it tightens up. You have one ring here and the other ring there, and it goes through. So I'll go over that again. So you would take any one, it doesn't matter which ring, which O-ring, take the rest of the leash. Again, oh my God, I can't believe I'm making that mistake, but take the links and the rest of the collar. So I'll take the links and whatever, 4 or 5 down. I have the circle there, and pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the link, one of the links through, pull it all the way through. You might have to jiggle a little bit, and then bingo, you have it set up so it works. And again, you want it set. If your dog's muzzle is facing the camera, you want it set so that it looks like a P. So the collar would go up and around the dog as a P if you were to pull up. Now, there's no law, but I walk all my dogs and teach all my dogs and train all my dogs, including clients' dogs, to walk on the left-hand side. So if you picture your dog here and you're holding onto a leash, proper holding of your leash, you want to make sure that the P is pretty much, it comes up and around your dog, and as you pull up a little bit on the leash, it will pull up through the ring. So I want to show you how I do it. So I'm going to take the fur saver, and again, we have it set like I did it. We'll do it one more time because I know it can be tricky how to do it, so I'll just clear it out. So you hold on to one of the rings, any ring, doesn't matter. Take one of the links, 3 or 4 down, place it through So it comes through, and just get it set up so it pulls through. So now you have the links coming through one of the rings, the O-rings, and now you take it. So again, you want to think about if you're standing and you're going to be facing your dog, so you're looking at it this way. So I would have it set up, attach my leash, and I use a 6-foot leather leash. I've had it for, this is my second dog, almost 19 years I think I've had this leash. It's a 6-foot leather leash. I get off a Leerburg, Amish, still in great condition. So you're going to take your first saver or training collar, whether it's the choke collar, whether it's the slip lead or the slip collar, and once you have it set up, you want to place your leash buckle on the ring, and then again you're going this way, so you want to make sure that when you have it set, it makes a P going on. So think of your dog is facing you, and you're going to be facing the dog, and you have the dog's head here. So what you want to do is you have this O-ring that goes up on, it would be your left side if you're looking at the dog, and it looks like a letter P. So the bottom of the P comes up and around. And what you want to do is take it and put it over your dog's head, and so it sits up high on his neck. Obviously, when there's slack to the leash, it's going to slip back on his neck towards his chest. And you also want to make sure that you have the right size collar. So if I order a fur saver, I'm going to get it approximately 3 to 4 inches larger than the widest width of my dog's neck. Again, when you order a fur saver or a slip collar or a choke collar, I like to get it 3 to possibly 4 inches larger than the largest diameter of my dog's neck. So we have the P, dog's looking at you. You have your P set up, and you pretty much put it over your dog's neck, over his head. And now, what's nice is that as the dog moves away, and you have the pressure of the leash while he's walking, it gives and tightens. So you can easily use pressure, the pressure of not only the collar, but the pressure of the links and the sound of the links to get your dog's attention and help him or her to get back into the position you want. Now obviously there's a lot more training than just putting it on a collar and just using the pressure of it to teach your dog. I like to start off with teaching the position I want my dog in, and that takes time. I use positive reinforcement. I teach movement so that he still understands or she understands where I want the dog, and so I'm clear about the position of where they should be. And then I can use pressure. All my verbal markers will say and it's repetitions. You got to take time with your dog. You start off with slow pieces of the puzzle, little pieces of the puzzle, and then keep adding little pieces as you go on so that they understand that when the collar and the leash goes on and I'm walking, which is like the last part, I'm walking, you stay in a certain position that I want you in. And then what I can use is, whether again, and I'll put on the slip collar. So again, we have our slip collar. We take the 2 open loops. I'll just pull it through to clear it. So we put the 2 open loops we have. I'm going to put the larger one through the smaller one. So I take my larger loop through the smaller loop, close it in a little bit, I pull it through. Now I want to set up my P. So I'm going to take it from the way I just set it, and I'm just going to turn turn the collar. And so this way, when I put it over my dog's head, it makes the P. And the P, as you see, just kind of goes around that way. So now I'll take my leash, attach it to again, I use the larger ring at the end of the slip collar. And what's nice is, as the dog pulls, yes, it tightens, but then as the slack goes, what happens is it loosens up on your dog because of the way we properly place our collars on our dog. We want that P. So tighten, leash gives in, it loosens. Tightens, loosens. As you see, enough so that you're not choking your dog. So we'll just undo that. Being redundant here, but I know collars and training collars can get crazy. So I already set it up. I'll do it again. I'm going to do it with my opposite hand and show you this time. So I got a ring. I put one of the links through. I pull it through. I help it to feed through because you're going to try to get two through. So I've brought it. So again, we have the links going through one of the O-rings. And now I want to make sure I have the P. So I'm going to pull it a little bit. Think about the P. So when the collar is set up, the collar is facing the dog. So the dog's head is this way. You want to make sure as you put it on, you have the P. And the P would look like, again, the links going up. I know it's not a perfect P, but that way. So now, when we have it right, we just slip it over the dog's head. It's audited so it's a little larger, and like Rottweilers and Mastiffs, they have very big heads. That's why we want to make sure that we have 3 to 4 inches larger, because if you audit the width of your dog's neck, if you have a dog or a breed that has a large head, especially like I said, the Mastiffs, some of the bully breeds have a very large, big wedge head. If you audit the right size of the neck, it may not fit over his head, so you want to do 3 or 4 inches larger. So we have it set so it has the P. It's coming up. You're looking at the dog is looking at you, the P. So now I attach my leash, buckle to the ring. Dog starts to pull. We're walking. He pulls, gets out, it tightens up. Now as he gives in and gets back in, because I help him either through a little bit of leash pressure or my command of back that I've taught him, or heel, as it gives in, it loosens. And what happens, it loosens very easy. I mean, it's stuck there, but it loosens very easy. It gets stuck on that. But that's how it's supposed to work. Tighten, loosen. If you put it the opposite way, this is what happens. So you do it the opposite way. You actually have the P looks from the opposite way. It's almost like a Q without the little tail. So if you do this way, so now it's on the opposite side of your dog. So if you have the long length of the collar coming down on the right hand side and coming up or around, a reverse P, what happens when you put it on the dog is you can see the weight of the leash and the pulling of the dog keeps the links tight, and it can never, when he gives in, it won't loosen like we want it to loosen. So again, that's why I taught you not only how to properly set up your training collar, but how to place it on your dog's head and where it should be. It should be up higher on the back of the neck when you're in training. Obviously when you're walking and it's loose, it's going to kind of slip down towards his chest. So if you have any questions, any thoughts, or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment at the end of this article, or you can contact me. You can contact me via my web. You can email me, or you can text message me. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I fumbled a couple of times between collar, links, O-rings, leash, but pretty much you understand. And hopefully you have a great day. Peace.